We'll now move to the first speaker on the opposition, who is Dr. Malhotra, a cardiologist and noted critic of overdiagnosis. He's also a spokesman for the Academy of Medical Royal Colleges. Asim, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, it was one of the founding fathers of the evidence-based medicine movement, Professor David Sackett, who once said, 50% of what you learn in medical school will turn out to be either outdated or dead wrong within 5 years of your graduation. The trouble is, you don't know which half, so you have to learn on your own. I've been a qualified doctor and now a consultant cardiologist for almost 2 decades. But I have learnt and slowly and reluctantly come to the conclusion that honest doctors can no longer practice honest medicine. Corporate greed and systematic political failure has brought the NHS to its knees. We have a complete healthcare system failure and an epidemic of misinformed doctors and misinformed patients based upon a number of factors. Biased funding of research. So that's research that's funded because it's likely to be profitable, not beneficial for patients. Biased reporting in medical journals. Biased reporting in the media. Commercial conflicts of interest. And last but not least, medical doctors' inability to understand and communicate health statistics. The situation of over-medication has become so dire that one respected Cochrane collaboration researcher, Peter Gosha, has estimated that prescribed medications are the 3rd most common cause of death after heart disease and cancer. How did I come to all of this awareness? I'm a frontline doctor. I don't do original research. I just want to do what's best for my patients. In the summer of 2010, while working as a cardiology SPR doing interventional cardiology, at 3 in the morning, I treated a patient with emergency keyhole heart surgery, stenting, in the middle of the night. He did well, he survived, and that was great, a great treatment. This person was saved by modern medicine. The next day on the ward round, I'm trying to talk to him about taking his medications. Statin drug was one of those medications, aspirin. We're giving him a cocktail of drugs, life-saving drugs, we believe. And I'm also talking to him about the fact that he needs to stop smoking and follow a healthy lifestyle and eat healthy food. And as I'm telling him about eating healthy food, he gets served a burger and chips by the hospital. And he looks at me and says, "Doc, how do you expect me to change my lifestyle if you're serving me, pardon my language, the same crap that brought me here in the first place?" And it really got me thinking about how we got to a situation where in 2004, the World Health Organization declares obesity a global epidemic. Where we are now, we have more than 60% of the adult UK population overweight or obese. 1 in 3 children, by the time they leave primary school, are in the same category, and these trends are getting worse. We cannot drug people into being healthier. The real challenge we have in healthcare at the moment is lifestyle-related disease. Poor diet contributes, according to the Lancet Global of Disease reports, to more disease and death than physical inactivity, smoking, and alcohol combined. Now, statins were mentioned, life-saving drugs, but what does that actually mean? Well, the reality is this, and I've prescribed statins to thousands of patients in my career, like Smarties. I've even started statins in A&E when a patient comes in with a heart attack, because I believed and trusted the literature. But when you look at the data, when you look at statins in secondary prevention in people with heart disease, and this is a selected group from industry-sponsored trials, the median increase in life expectancy, according to a publication in the BMJ in 2015, the median increase in life expectancy for people taking a statin every day for 5 years in the trial was 4.2 days. Another analysis showed, we talk about reduction in cardiovascular mortality in the population. Most of the decline in cardiovascular mortality in the last 30 years has happened because of smoking reduction. Modern medicine has had a role, especially in acute treatments. But interestingly, an analysis showed in Western Europe, for secondary prevention, statins did not reduce cardiovascular mortality. Now, one of the reasons to understand that is because in the community, and this is before any media hype or potential scaremongering, 75% of statin users will stop taking a statin within a year. Most of those people said it's because of side effects. So really, the real issue is also understanding how reliable is the data that we have. Professor John Wanidis, professor of medicine and statistics in Stanford University, recently did an analysis of 60,000 clinical studies and concluded only 7% of those studies fulfill criteria for being high quality and relevant to patients. You talk about innovation. We have an innovation crisis, and part of that reason is because of the system is geared towards commercial interests, not that of patients. Of the 667 drugs approved by the FDA between 2000 and 2008, only 11% of them were actually found to be truly innovative. 89 were essentially had no therapeutic benefit over previous drugs. And as I'm sure my colleagues in the pharmaceutical industry here know, they have a legal, a fiduciary obligation to produce profit for their shareholders. They do not, although we'd like it to be the case, they do not have a legal obligation to sell us the best treatment. They spend twice as much on marketing as much as they do on research and development. No wonder we can't produce new, good, and innovative drugs. But with the healthcare crisis that we have, the lifestyle-related diseases that we have 50% of people over the age of 70 who are on 3 medications. Life expectancy increase, very good point you mentioned here. Absolutely, medicine has had a role, but it's very minor compared to other things. So we've added about 100 years to our life expectancy since 1900. We've had about 30 years, since 1900. 100 years is a lot. 30 years. 25 of those years have come about because of safer working environments, better sanitation, clean drinking water, seatbelts in cars, smoke-free buildings, antibiotics for infections, yes, vaccinations, yes. But actually, and acute treatments, but actually most of what we're trying to deal with right now in the modern era is dealing with chronic disease, which is related to lifestyle, and that is not going to be counted with drugs that have very marginal benefits at best and come with significant side effects. So really, we need better drugs. I agree. We don't need more drugs. We need better drugs. And I believe in the next few years, we need a national campaign to reduce the amount of medications people are taking, and we need to push for healthier lifestyles, and we need to be more transparent with patients, and then we can have better accountability, better transparency, and better quality of care that's lacking in our health service at the moment. Thank you.